Sarah Jennings and her boyfriend Mike are parked at the Devil's Washbowl in Vermont. Fog rolling in like a bad trip when something massive thuds against the driver's door. Mike hits the headlights, and standing there is this 6-foot monstrosity. Patchy white hair all over a human body with a pig head, complete with snout, tusks, and human eyes peering out at them. It claws the door, screeching, trying to get in. Mike guns it, tires spinning wildly. But in the mirror, that bastard's in a full sprint and keeping up with them. I'm Uncle Perry. I don't just tell stories. I dig up the fucked up ones most folks are too chicken shit to talk about. And I do it in a cavalier kind of way. From cryptids and government secrets to UFOs and aliens, I chase down the truth behind the legends. This week, we're diving into the Northfield Pigman. Half man, half pig. An absolute nightmare that's been tweaking folks in Vermont since 1971. Y'all ready to tear it up? Let's get it! May 12, 1971. The high school gym's thumping with cheesy tunes and sweaty teens when a pack of kids burst through the doors, faces ghost white, crying and shaking, clearly trying to escape some unholy fucker chasing them. Turns out they'd snuck off from the dance to chug beers at the sand pit behind the school, when suddenly this unearthly creature emerges from the tree line of the nearby forest, walking on 2 legs, buck-ass naked, body shrouded in thick white fur, and staring them down with the grotesque, snarling face of a pig. The police were called and did a half-assed search and, not surprisingly, didn't find anything. October 14, 1974. Johnson and his buddy are geared up for a weekend hunt, trudging up the ridge behind the Harris farm when these loud, horrifying pig squeals rip through the air. Blood-curdling shit that freezes them cold. They creep to the edge, look down, and holy fuck, there's Mr. Harris, naked, wild-eyed, and sweating, stabbing a thrashing pig right in the goddamn head. Its blood spraying like a fountain. Johnson's friend loses his shit. He levels his rifle, lines the sights dead on Mr. Harris. However, Johnson grabs the barrel, yanks it away, and they bolt the hell out of there. Johnson swears they only spoke of it once after and swore to bury it deep. Johnson says not long after, Sam Harris vanished. No trace, just gone. Then one night, Sam's dad, Mr. Harris, had a heart attack when Sam drug pig lungs, liver, intestines right up onto the porch, slimy and steaming under the moonlight. A couple of weeks later, Sam's mom gets eaten alive in the pig pen. Her screams cut short, body torn apart in the pen. Johnson stopped mid-sentence and walked inside the barn, leaving all of us stunned at his incredible story. As he walked away, he was asked had he seen the pig man in person. He spun around, ripped out his dentures, and let out this insane guttural howl, part pig, part madman, then turned and melted into the darkness. Freakiest moment of their lives. They were fucking terrified. After that, they piled in the truck, hauled ass back to Maine, and never came back. The twist? One of them swore Johnson was Sam Harris. April 2nd, 1975. Sarah Jennings, a junior at Northfield High, and her boyfriend Mike sneak out to the Devil's Washbowl one Friday night. Way more interested in fogging up the windows than hunting monsters. They're mixing it up in the front seat when something slams the driver's side door like a goddamn wrecking ball.
We both jumped out of our skins,
Sarah says. Mike flips on the headlights and holy fucking hell, 3 feet away stands the Pigman, hunched over but still taller than any man, body draped in patchy, filthy white hair like a diseased sheep. And the head? A pig's face, snout, tusks, floppy ears, but those horribly human eyes staring right through the glass, cold and hungry. Then it gets worse. The thing starts scratching at the door, claws raking metal with this ear-splitting screech, like a knife on a chalkboard. Mike slams the pedal, tires spinning in mud, and as they peel out, Sarah looks out the side mirror. The Pigman's chasing them, sprinting upright on 2 legs, faster than any human, arms pumping, pig face snarling in the red glow of the taillights. They didn't stop till they hit town, hearts jackhammering. Next day, deep gouges carved into the driver's door, proof that shit was real. Sarah and Mike's story blew the fuck up. It's the most talked about Pigman encounter in Northfield history. August 5th, 1980. Several stories swirl around folks swearing they got chased or straight up attacked by the Pigman. For example, take this group of dumbass teenagers. They're camping deep in the woods, zipped up in their tents when twigs start snapping, startling them awake with hearts pounding like drums. They stumble out of the tent, flashlights jittering, half asleep and whispering, "What the fuck?" Heads swiveling around, only to spot the Pigman looming in the distance. A hulking silhouette under the moon, pig snout twitching, those human eyes locked on him like laser sights, just staring, unblinking, waiting. Panic hits like a freight train. They bolt back into their POS car, keys fumbling in sweaty hands, engine coughing to life as the Pigman charges, crashing through brush on 2 legs, grunting and squealing like a chainsaw through bacon. Tires spin gravel, branches whip the windows, and those kids haul ass out of the woods, lungs burning, swearing on their lives they barely escaped that clawed bastard's grip. September 10, 1990. A woman's driving home alone, pitch black country road, headlights cutting through fog like knives when, what the fuck? There's the Pigman just standing on the side of the road, white fur glowing like a ghost under the beams, pig face tilted, human eyes reflecting back, cold and dead. She slows down, curiosity or dumbass instinct, and leans closer to the window for a better look. Big mistake. The thing lunges, no warning, no sound, just a blur of claws and snarls slamming into the driver's side door. Metal screeches, paint rips like skin, deep gouges carved in seconds as the Pigman claws at the car like it's trying to peel it open and drag her out. She slams the gas, tires screaming, heart in her throat, speeding away terrified and shaken, her knuckles white on the wheel. When she finally stops under a streetlight, fresh, jagged scratches run down the door, proof that son of a bitch was real and it wanted in. May 8th, 2018. This badass senior girl and her crew, 4 full couples, decide to pull off the ultimate stakeout in the Devil's Washbowl. All hyped up on Pigman legends and cheap beer, they figured one night camping in the local caves might net them a glimpse of the furry fucker. They divvy up pretty smart, 1 couple per cave, spreading out like a net to blanket the whole eerie area. flashlights ready, hearts racing in that mix of horny teen excitement and what the fuck are we doing here terror. Cut to one couple, knee-deep in setting up their cave campsite, tents half-pitched, cooler cracking open. When holy shit, blood-curdling screams echo from the next cave over, ripping through the night like a chainsaw through flesh. They drop everything, stakes, sleeping bags, sanity, and sprint to the scene, boots slipping on the wet rock, only to burst in and find their friend curled up in a fetal position, scared so shitless she's rocking back and forth, eyes wild, babbling hysterically that her boyfriend was just dragged off by the goddamn pigman right in front of her. She tells it through tears. The thing waltzed in like it owned the fucking place, unfazed by their panicked shouts and flailing arms trying to scare it off. A hulking, white-furred creep show on two legs, pig snout dripping, human eyes gleaming with cold hunger. It grabbed a jagged rock off the cave floor, smashed it over the boyfriend's skull with a wet crack that echoed like doom, dropping him limp. Dead? Knocked cold? Who the fuck knows? Then hoisted his body one-handed and dragged him into the black maw of the tunnels, grunting low like a satisfied hog. The girls don't waste a beat. They haul ass to their cars, tires screeching gravel as they gun it to the police station. Voices cracking over the phone about the blood-smeared cave and their missing friend. Meanwhile, the rest of the boys, furious with grief, grab flashlights, bats, tire irons, whatever makeshift weapons they can scrounge, forming a ragtag posse to hunt down the pigman and avenge their shredded friend. They crashed through brush and calling his name into the void, but the trail, gone cold in minutes. Footprints vanishing into solid rock like the fucker just evaporated. Search parties swarm the woods at dawn. Cops, locals, the whole goddamn canine unit with dogs snarling on leashes, but nada, zilch, not a whiff of that kidnapped high school senior. It was like he got swallowed by the earth itself. A couple of days later, the horror piles on. They find the boy's torn clothes, shredded rags soaked in blood and mud, dumped at a nearby abandoned farmhouse, weeds choking out the porch. After that, the trail goes ice cold. No body, no closure, just whispers that the pigman added fresh meat to its menu, leaving those kids scarred for life in the unforgiving Devil's Washbowl. But those gory-ass sightings are just the tip of the blood-stained iceberg. Let's dive into the twisted legend that birthed this pig-faced shit show in the first place. All right, strap in. I'm going to unpack the fucked up lore behind Northfield's own pig-faced boogeyman. A story so twisted it's been whispered over campfires and dive bars and used to scare the shit out of kids for decades. Let's piece this together like a puzzle from hell. Starting with the setting. About 1.5 miles outside of Northfield lies the Devil's Washbowl, a misty, jagged scar of land where a river crashes over waterfalls into a set of dark, dripping caves. Locals swear the pigman holes up in one of them, gnawing bones and plotting his next rampage. Teens, dumb, brave, or both, still hike up there with flashlights and half a buzz, hoping to snap a pic of the fucker. Most come back pale and silent. Some, not at all. Now, the core legend kicks off on October 30th, 1951, the night before Halloween, known locally as Picket Night, when kids grab eggs and TP and fuck shit up. I wouldn't know anything about that. 17-year-old Sam Harris sneaks out with a carton of eggs to vandalize some houses. The next morning, he's gone. Bed empty. His parents freak the hell out, call the cops, and a massive-ass search erupts. Hundreds of locals, cops, dogs, the works, combing hundreds of square miles for weeks. They find jack shit. No body, no clothes, no blood. Sam just vanished. That's when the rumors start festering. Some say he ran away, pissed off at his folks. Others whisper kidnapping or murder. But the old-timers, they lean in close and mutter a different story. Sam stumbled into something evil in those woods that night. An ancient ritual site. Satanists in hoods, candles, blood, the whole demonic package. They say he either got possessed by the devil or a beast attacked him, tore his skin off, and wore it like a suit. Either way, Sam didn't die. He changed. Soon after, Pigman sightings explode. Word spreads. Sam Harris is the Pigman. He slaughters hogs in the dead of night, feasts on steaming entrails, carves out their heads and wears them like masks, terrorizing Northfield around Devil's Washbowl. Some say he's still out there, 70-plus years later, a cursed man who traded his soul for immortality or damnation. But wait, there's another version, just as dark. Some say the Pigman was never Sam. He was a butcher, a regular guy with a shop and a big cleaver. One day, a freak accident changed everything. His blade slips, his face kisses the grinder. He's left disfigured. Locals shunned him. Kids freaked out. So he retreated to the woods and became a recluse. But his hate got worse. He turned dark and deadly, stalking hikers and trespassers, maiming, mutilating, and straight up decapitating folks. Some say he'd swapped the victims' heads with pig heads, leaving bodies on display like grotesque warnings. Then there's the eyewitness flap. A few accounts swear they saw a naked man wearing a hollowed-out pig's head like a mask. Realistic, bloody, eyes peering through the dark sockets. Was it Sam, the butcher, or just some sick fuck playing monster? No one knows, but the description holds. Body of a man, head of a pig, covered in white hair, moving like a predator with too much hate. Cops, locals, out-of-townies tracked the monster to the Devil's Washbowl caves. One cave was littered with bones, pig skulls, cracked ribs, gnawed femurs, some fresh, some ancient. They called it the Pigman's Lair. No one stayed very long. The legend is used as a cautionary tale. Don't wander the woods alone, or the Pigman will get you. Some say he kidnaps. Others that he's just mischievous, a prankster with claws. Yeah, right. But all agree, cross his path and you're pretty much fucked. One grizzled old-timer summed it up. You mark my words, that boy made a deal with the devil himself, traded his soul for some kind of power. Now he's out there, changed into something that ain't human no more. So yeah, that's the Northfield Pigman. Part missing kid, part demon, part butcher gone feral. A white-furred nightmare born from a Halloween prank gone wrong, hunting caves, roads, and backyards. But every twisted legend gets dragged into the daylight. Let's slice open the explanations and see what's squealing underneath. The skeptical explanations for the Northfield Pigman Ain't buying the demonic pork chop for a second. This whole thing's a steaming pile of urban legend with zero basis in reality. It's pure imagination, exaggeration, or straight-up fabrication by bored-ass locals who love a good mystery to spice up their cornfield lives. First off, the Pigman? Just a local scare story to keep bratty kids from sneaking into the woods at night or pulling Halloween pranks that make their parents shit bricks. Don't egg Mrs. Johnson's house or the Pigman will wear your guts as a necklace. Classic small-town parenting hack. Works like a charm. Suddenly, every rustle in the bushes is a 6-foot hog man instead of a raccoon grubbing out. Then there's the hermit theory. Maybe the Pigman was some misunderstood recluse or some feral deranged fucker living off the grid. Guy's got a beard down to his nuts, hasn't seen a shower since Jimmy Carter, and likes to gut pigs for dinner. Locals spot him once, freak the hell out, and boom, legend born. No Satan, no curse, just a dude who'd rather talk to hogs than people. Or it's a prankster in a shitty pig mask, a serial killer covering his tracks with folklore, or a mentally ill dickhead who gets off on scaring the piss out of teenagers and slaughtering folks' livestock. Hollow out a hog head, streak naked through the trees, leave some scratches. Easy as fuck to fake if you're twisted enough. Dr. Eleanor Simmons, a folklorist from the University of Vermont, nails it.
It's likely that the Pigman is a manifestation of our collective fears and anxieties, particularly those related to the wilderness and the unknown.
She points out the sightings kicked off in the early 70s, right when America was losing its goddamn mind. Vietnam, civil rights, hippies everywhere, the whole cultural shitstorm.
Small towns like Northfield were grappling with the influx of new ideas and the erosion of traditional ways of life, she says. The Pigman could be seen as a symbol of those fears, a monstrous embodiment of the other that threatens to disrupt the community.
Think about it. Sam vanishes in 51, but the real Pigman hysteria doesn't hit till the 70s? They needed a monster to blame for their nervousness, so they stitched one together from an old missing kid story. Every sighting after that was just fuel on the fire, confirmation bias and overalls. The bottom line? The Pigman ain't real. He's a mirror reflecting Northfield's fear of change, the dark, and the shit they can't control. A white-furred squealing stand-in for every goddamn thing that rattles the cage. So next time you hear a squeal in the Devil's Washbowl, it's likely just the wind or some asshole in a mask laughing his balls off. I'm telling you, the Northfield Pigman is real as fuck. Not some cheesy bedtime story or a fuckhead in a mask. This white-furred, pig-faced asshole is out there, and the evidence stacks higher than your mom's pile of used condoms behind the trailer. Let's break down why I know this shit's legit. Most of us point to Sam Harris. The kid vanishes on picket night 1951. But what the hell happened? Sam didn't run away. He survived, but something broke him. Trauma, drugs, a ritual, or worse. He saw shit in the Devil's Washbowl that fuck you up. Maybe he adopted the pig persona to cope, or to hide from what he became. Hollowed out pig heads and entrails on the porch? That's Sam, feral and fucked, haunting the hills he once hung out in. But it gets darker. Some say Sam stumbled into a satanic ritual. Blood, candles, the whole demonic barbecue. They cursed him, transformed him into a human-pig hybrid. Or maybe it was a supernatural intervention. He was magically twisted into a pigman as punishment. Hell, pigmen are natural monsters, born with snouts and tusks, stalking the wild like goddamn nightmares with hooves. Then there's the cryptid angle. The pigman's a real human-pig hybrid, lurking in the woods, ripping pigs apart and occasionally snacking on humans. Genetic mutation? Interbreeding? Supernatural birth? Shit, take your pick. He could be Bigfoot's cannibal cousin, or a woodwose, those ancient wild men from European lore, but with a Vermont twist and a taste for bacon. Bacon. Local paranormal badass Rick Boudreau drops the mic. The Devil's Washbowl has a long history of strange occurrences. Native American legends call it a place where the veil between worlds is thin. The pigman could be a spirit or elemental force, drawn by Sam's disappearance, taking physical form. That's why this fucker stays at Northfield. The land feeds him, binds him. He's the wood's revenge. A guardian or a curse, squealing when outsiders get too close. And don't discount the conspiracy angle. Retired biology teacher Howard Grayson went there in the 1980s. What if the pigman's a secret government experiment? A military human-animal hybrid? Sam stumbles onto a black site, gets detained, then gets injected, and then turned into a weapon. Sounds crazy? Sure, but after MK Ultra, Tuskegee, and all that shady shit, I wouldn't put it past the government. Grayson's pamphlet had pigman hunters a long way from home, combing the woods for hidden bunkers for a long time. They never found any, but that don't mean they ain't there, or were there. Point is, there's too many sightings, too much blood, too many missing pigs and people for this to be fake. The scratches, the screams, the bones in the cave. That's not imagination, that's proof. The pigman ain't a symbol or a story. He's flesh, fur, and fury born from a prank gone wrong, a ritual gone right, or a lab experiment gone rogue. And every time you hear a grunt in the dark, that's him, still hungry, still Sam. Northfield's woods used to be just trees. Pretty. A good place to hunt or hike. Now, they're pigman territory. Parents drill it into their kids. Don't stray. Even grizzled hunters get the creeps going solo in the deep shit. The legend turned beauty into bad vibes, and folks stayed the fuck out. Ironically, nature loved it. With humans gone, wildlife exploded. Bird watchers spot rare species never seen before in the area. Game cams catch big fat-ass deer, bears, and even some moose. Dr. Lydia Chin, ecologist, laughs.
The pigman's an accidental conservationist. By scaring us off, he let the wild reclaim its turf.
Folklore with real teeth, or in this case, tusks. Tonight, the moon's full, the river's loud, and somewhere in the caves, a wet grunt answers the wind. Is it Sam? Something older? Or just the woods laughing at us again? Grab your flashlight. The trailhead's waiting. But if you hear hooves on the rock behind you, don't turn around. Run. Are you a fan of weird-ass monsters, government conspiracies, aliens, or UFOs? Then tap that like button and subscribe. That way, you won't miss out on more of my fucked-up commentary. And besides, I really do appreciate it. Do you think the Northfield Pigman still haunts the Devil's Washbowl? Or is he just ancient history now? Let me know down in the comments. And if you're ready to crank that shit all the way up to 11, that join button's got your name on it. For just $2.99, you can have my back in a huge way. Until next time, y'all keep it real, keep it chill, and stay creepy! Catch you on the flip. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. You are the real beast.